Hey guys, welcome back. Summer's Beauty here with another video. So I am just jumping on here. I'm sorry y'all, it's not my normal setup because I'm downstairs because everybody in my house is asleep. It's like 1 o'clock in the morning. I told you guys that I suffer from insomnia. So usually I'm up all night. Like I didn't go to bed until 8:30 this morning, and then I woke up at I think it was like 11:47 a.m. So I didn't get a lot of sleep. I'm not tired. The last couple of days have been a whirlwind and a little bit. I'm sorry if I'm talking weird, y'all. I had these Smile Direct liner things in my mouth. I don't even know why I signed up for this because it's literally driving me nuts. Yeah, so yeah, I've been really emotional over the last couple of days. It's not a bad thing. I mean, I think it's good. Like I said before, I used to be like a robot. I wouldn't feel anything. If I did start to feel anything, I would push it down immediately and just keep on moving. But I'm unable to do those things now. And I think I told you guys when I first started having my spiritual awakening, a lot of past trauma that I had started coming up. So I had to kind of deal with those things in order to get to where I am now. I have been getting a lot of backlash from people because they're so used to me being this strong person who can go through anything. I don't think that I'm not strong now. I think that I'm just really in touch with my emotions, and I think it's a beautiful thing. It's like the difference between then and now is like I said, when I would go through stuff, I would just, I was everybody's go-to person, this, that, and the other, and blah, blah, blah. But now I'm just like really focusing on myself because I've neglected myself for a large majority of my life. So now it kind of feels good. I'm not going to say kinda. It feels good to experience emotion. Like to experience what it really feels like to be happy and what it feels like to truly care for people, And it really feels good to cry. Like, I know a lot of people who know me personally, crying is not something that was like usually a part of my personality before this whole thing. And now crying is like, it helps me cleanse my soul. You know what I'm saying? So that I don't have to carry on that hurt. And people don't see that. They look at it as a negative thing. They're like, oh, teacher, you're so weak. Or, oh, because you're so sick, you must feel sorry for yourself. But I don't. You know what I'm saying? I feel blessed to be in a situation. And I know that it's going to sound crazy, but I truly believe that. I'm sorry, my phone is about to die. I truly believe that if I was not in this position, and I'm talking about all the medical issues, if I was not in this position, I would have missed my calling. You know what I'm saying? Like, the things that matter to me now is not about how many degrees that I have, how many jobs I have, how many promotions I got, if I'm a leader or not. None of those things really matter. I'm sorry, y'all. That's Pancake. None of those things really matter. Um, I know that my sole purpose in life is to help people. And that's all I want to do from here on out. And that's always been my mission. Like, even before my spiritual awakening, even when I was a younger individual, even up until I told you guys that, bless you, baby, that I worked in brain injury, and, I really cared for my clients. And a lot of people who worked with me, they were there for a paycheck. You could tell who was there for a paycheck and who was not. And I was truly one of those people who really enjoyed what I did, because I felt like, here these people are, or these men, they've been brain injured for 30 plus years, and they're living in these residential homes, and majority of the time they don't see their family. The families don't see them. They don't keep in contact with them. So in a way, we become their family. So I think for me, I just never want people to feel like they're alone. You know what I'm saying? I had to find out a lot of stuff on my own. And I think that so many people who were close to me had so many negative or ill intentions for me. And because I didn't fall into the trap of getting addicted, or having my kids taken away from me, or being in an abusive relationship, they just couldn't be happy for me. So what I had to do was, instead of seeking the support of my family, I had to cut myself off. And I literally had to leave my family for 10 years. I didn't go to family gatherings. I didn't really speak to anybody. And it wasn't that I didn't want to be around my family, or that I felt like I was better or anything like that. It was more like I had to save myself, because I knew that I didn't have anybody to go to help me. I had to really figure it out on my own. So I personally know what that feels like, and I went through that for many, 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 many years. Even when it came to, my accolades, people just couldn't be happy that I was able to do something. They would rather it be somebody else. And then I started to notice, like, when I started letting people back in, I'm not going to say I have a perfect family. I don't. But what I'll say is that my husband and my kids and myself, we work very well together. And I think that a lot of people strive for what we have, and they wait to see cracks. And when that doesn't happen, it makes them envious. So, I had to step back and do a self-evaluation. Like, I don't want to have people in my life who are negative and who do not want the best for me. And the best way to find out who really has your back is when you're down, when you're ill, when you're sick, when you're broke. You know what I'm saying? And if those people are not around and they're not there for you during those times, then they really don't have your best interest at heart. If people only call you when they're down, and they're like, oh, well, let me call Tisha because she's doing worse than me. She's sick. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to be around people like that. I just don't. I'm not in the business of changing. I'm sorry. Oxygen tanks. I'm not in the business of changing grown people's minds. I'm not saying I'm a perfect person, but I would say I'm a very genuine person. And anybody who knows me personally knows that I will literally give a person a shirt off my back. I told you all that I'm not celebrating Christmas anymore. All that pagan stuff I'm really moved away from. I just want to, this year, around the holidays, I'll say, I just want to take a portion of my money, $300, $400, $500, and I would just want to go and buy toothbrushes and toothpaste and soap and hats and scarves and gloves. And even if I can purchase some men's and women's coats or children's coats from the Goodwill, I'll take a portion of money and do that too. And I just want to go and take that stuff to a shelter. And these are things that I've been talking about for years. For me, it's not about if I have something. It's more about what can I do to make somebody else's life a little bit more easier. And it's the same thing about like where I live at. Like a lot of people here know that, I'm an educated person. Because where we live at, we have newsletters and they put stuff out like that. And a lot of times I would ask, like the person who puts out the newsletters, please just don't put me in it. If I make a donation, I've donated plenty of times to our tenant organization. I pay for buses for the kids to take trips places, and I never wanted any acknowledgement for that. My thing is, I just want people to be happy, I had a conversation with one of my neighbors today, and I think when I first initially told this person that I had 3 degrees, they just looked at it like, oh my gosh, she has 3 degrees. Oh my God, I would have never thought that, right? But that wasn't my intention. That wasn't the point about me having degrees. It wasn't about that. It was about what I went to school for, right? And because I went to school for something and that person is now entering into that field, I want that person to be able to use me as a resource so that I can help that person better themselves and better their family, And the first thing the person said was, because I was like, if you need a study buddy, I'm here. I'm a great study buddy. The first thing the person said is, when I get on my feet, I got you. And I said, it's not even about that. I just want you to be successful. I just want you to make it through. Sometimes people hope for good things for people, and once they started, they kind of let their hand go, and that's it. But I feel like sometimes you have to walk people through stuff. You have to really support them from the beginning to the end. So it was a blessing in disguise that that person was very receptive and willing to use me as a resource, because I'm like, if I paid $90,000 for this education and I'm no longer able to work, please let me help you. That way I feel like, all that wasn't in vain. Another thing I've been trying to do is reach out to a lot of the parents here who have 12th and 11th graders. Some of the parents here haven't been to college themselves, or they never had to put a kid through college. So I offer to be the person, a point person, to help parents apply for their kids' FAFSA. We have a scholarship program here. I'm going to help the kids write their essays. Even if they write it and they just need me to listen to it and like go over it and help with grammar and stuff like that, I'm here. I want to be able to help send these kids off to school and, give them my phone number when they leave. Like, listen, if you're having a crappy day, I'm here. Just call me and I'll answer. If you are not sure about an assignment, you wrote a paper and you need a listening ear, I'm here. Just call me. Because like I said, for me, it's more about my legacy. It's not about, oh, well, Tisha worked here. And again, it's not about that. It's about how many people I help, how many people I touch, how many lives, that's what matters to me. And I know how hard I had to fight to get the things that I wanted. And it would have been so much easier for me if I just had somebody that really, really had my back. You know what I'm saying? I don't ever want any kid to think that they can't go to college because they can't afford it. There's always a way. I also would say it's a difference between putting yourself through school and putting your kid through school. I was blessed this year to be able to find my son over $10,000 worth of scholarships. And I'm one of those people that if I know something, I want to share it. I truly believe that I could do the same thing for other people. I don't want these kids here to have to graduate with a bunch of student loan debt. I just want to help people. And you know, it's so funny because the light, it's like the light is starting to come on, and I'm starting to understand, and I'm starting to see what people's true motives are. I mean, the people who are around me. I mean, I know there's people who had jealous streaks and they wish harm on me and things like that, and it's just like, wow. We're talking about family members. I've never wanted to be one of those people. There's no reason to be jealous. I don't want any harm, wish any harm on anybody. I had a conversation with my husband earlier, and I revealed something to him about my childhood that he didn't know. And when I told him, he was shocked. And it was so important that that thing came up because it put things in perspective for me. It showed me why I used to be the person that I was. And then I kept saying the synchronicity today. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And we talked about synchronicities and how, that's usually your angels talking to you. And 1, 2, 3, to me, when I looked it up, it said, the things that you want to do in life, do it. And if there's people around you who can't support it, then you need to leave them alone, basically. My mission in life is to help as many kids get through college with the least amount of debt. My purpose in life is to help people be great. I don't have all the answers, but whatever I don't know, I will find it. Like I'm a great researcher. It's been a lot of things going on in our country with a lot of racial things, and I really have an issue with our black men being targets. It's open season on them, and I feel like if I could just help them, steer them to the right direction, hopefully we can avoid that type of situation. Because I would be really hurt if somebody's child was hurt, behind some racially motivated thing. And where I live at is very racist. I know that people say, oh, well, the Confederate flag represents the South and this and the other. But for black people, that's not what the Confederate flag stands for. And where I live at, people drive around with the Confederate flag. They do not care about us out here. Even the school districts. They will help you to a certain point and then they will let you go. They're not trying to help our people make sure that they can get their kids through school. They're telling our kids that, oh, you're not ready to go to a 4-year college. That's not the type of motivation, or that's not the type of thing that you should say to any kid. I want our kids to know that we have the same opportunities as everybody else. It's just been a lot of stuff going on. And one of my biggest regrets would be to leave this earth and not help anybody. You know, I talked about not having a funeral, and I really don't want one. But when I do pass, I want people to know, when they hear, you know, my name, I want them to think about how I sacrificed, how I was, you know, I'm one of those people who are very supportive of my community, and any and everything that I can do to make our community better, I will. Yeah, so I just wanted to jump on real quick. I'm sorry that I had a little rant thing, and but I felt like I should just jump on and let you guys know what I was going through, because I'm not perfect. I'm human. You know, there's a lot of things in the world that bothers me, like homelessness. It bothers me. Just because a person is homeless doesn't mean that they shouldn't have access to clean clothes and basic needs. I don't want to keep seeing our kids graduating from school and just staying home and making kids. Like, that's not the way to go. But I'm not going to keep you guys too much longer, so I just wanted to come on here, and hopefully I was able to motivate some people. All right, guys, so until next time, peace.